Hello everyone and welcome in my another video on my channel. Today we are going to drive around Circuit de Paul Ricard in France, track which is new to me and for most of the field I guess. So it can be extremely interesting race around this track cause many of us are there for first time and it just can bring many surprises I think. But straight into the qualifying session, as you can see by Delta, I unfortunately made mistake in the first chicane, as well as in this slower section of the track, and I'm practically 2 tenths down on my previous best lap time. So at this point, I knew I won't be getting pole position, unfortunately. So I was trying to get maximum out of the sector 2 and sector 3. So longest straight on the track with heavy braking into the slower chicane in the middle of the longest possible straight on this circuit, and I gained there over a tenth. So it was very well done part of corners. Now fast right-hander, I was forced to drop by one gear because for me it was impossible to go nearly flat out. A double right-hander and I managed to get myself on minus on delta. Now to the last section of track, a bit middle quick left-hander and the second to last corner, also left-hander, and the slowest corner on the track, I think, a right-hander. And on the start-finish straight, you can see that I had better exit than on my previous fastest lap, and it was enough only for P2. And as you can see in sector 1, I lost nearly 3 tenths to Manuel Martini, who got pole position. So there was difference between us, first sector. But now onto the race start. Start was fine for me, but unfortunately Stefan managed to get alongside me into the first corner. Manuel was in front of me, so I didn't have space to outbrake Stefan or do anything else to keep my position. So I needed to keep third position in first sector and try to not get overtaken by guys who were behind me. And onto the longest straight, we see that I already lost some time to Stefan and Manuel, unfortunately, but
Let's create a gap and I'll let you by, okay?
as Stefan said, he was going to give me back the space because I was on defense strategy. I was going to make a 2-stop and Stefan was going to make 1-stop. And we will see if this will pay off or not. As you can see also, I managed to catch Manuel because I had less fuel. I didn't know yet what's Manuel going to do with his strategy. But onto the longest straight with the DRS, you can see that I'm gaining on Delta, but not on Manuel as much as I would want. So at this point, I knew it would be extremely tough to overtake Manuel with DRS. So I decided to pit on lap 9. Well, I didn't have any other choice because I didn't have fuel for another lap. So into the pits after 9 laps, according to the plan we had with Stefan, onto the soft tires, and now I wanted to just put slower tire and then put super soft at the end. Just to be able to push a bit more and maybe gain some more time at the end as well. Coming back onto the track, I was down in 10th place, 2 seconds behind Johan Lidberg, but I managed to catch him on the same lap. So you can see that there is big difference between used tires and new tires. So onto the start-finish straight. I was much quicker than Johan in corners and I was close to get alongside him on the exit, but I decided to wait and use the DRS and slipstream and then pass him into the first chicane, and that overtake was pretty easy with the DRS use and up to 8th place because someone else entered the pits. And onto the next battle with Bastian Peisler. On the same lap, I managed to catch him pretty quickly, and without the DRS into the fast right-hander, we touched there slightly, but I think it was nothing major. I just turned a bit late, and needed to drop 2 gears instead of 1, but we both managed to make corner fine. Only slight contact, but as I said, nothing major. Now on to lap 13. I managed to catch a group of 3 people fighting for position. I knew that I need to overtake them as soon as possible to have better chance to undercut Manuel, who was still in front. And now we're going free wide into the chicane in the middle of the straight, and Yannick decided to break away later to retain his position, but I overtook Sandeep, which was also good. And on the same lap, I catched Yannick at the end of that lap, and I was going to overtake him in the slip on the DRS, but he decided to go to the pits, and because we were able to cut fully the pit entry line, it disturbed me slightly, and I was close to lose position to Sandeep, unfortunately, but he didn't do that. And onto lap 15, Manuel made his one and only pit stop, and you can see that we are catching him quickly, and we are overtaking him to the first corner. So overall, all undercut worked because I overtook Manuel, but unfortunately I had to do one more stop to be able to go to the end, and Manuel was good to go to the end as he is now. So on to lap 21, I'm going for the second time and last time to the pit stop for super soft tires. To be honest, I knew that I won't win the race when I went to the pits, and saw that from lap 10, either Manuel nor Stefan nor anyone, to be fair, was pitting for the new tires. So from that point I knew that I had to extremely push to regain what I will lose with one more pit stop compared to others. And on lap 21 I went out of the pits, still being from first I dropped down to third. That was crucial for me to not be overtaken by Troy, but onto the final lap I managed to catch Stefan, who was struggling on his used tires, and you can see that I'm gaining and into the chicane in the middle of the straight, and we are managing to overtake Stefan and into the second place. So for me that was very crucial to overtake him, and you can see on the replay and broadcast.
On that last lap alone, and look at that next, all over back of him. He's going to get DRS, and he's going to have an absolute chance if he can keep it together through these difficult corners at the end of the track.
Here's Stefan Ruhl. Oh, it's a little bit slidey. Oh, look at this. Ruhl is going defensive. Is he going to regret letting his teammate through at the beginning? It might have been kindness, but is it going to kill him? Here goes Mlinik up the inside into turn 8. A really late braking maneuver. He's got it done as well. Mlinik up into P2 with a fantastic last throw of the dice.
Yeah, he had DRS, but he still had it all to do in the braking zone, didn't he? He really had to be late on the brakes. The tyres, the younger, healthier looking tyres certainly helped with that.
I knew that I had to do this overtake because I am fighting with Stefan in the individual standings, and he is in front of me in that standings. And this overtake and second place over his third puts me closer to him in the standings, but race 2 result, Manuel first, me second with Stefan third. Manuel, as I said, he maybe is just too quick for us, but maybe he found something in setup which we didn't do, but anyway, carrying out to race 2. Starting from P8, start was way better than in race 1. I'm forced to go close to the wall by Roy Schrotten, but fortunately no contacts. And into the first corner I didn't know who is on my left side when I saw Roy in front of me, so I went a bit cautiously. Now into the next part of corners, Benz made a bit earlier braking, and me and Stefan went in front of him, but he also then broke for the second time, and that time was way later than us, and he managed to regain position on Stefan and me into the right slow corner. I managed to slightly touch Roy Schrotten, which disturbed my car, but fortunately I didn't spin, but Benz went in front of me. And now onto lap 4, I'm in P7.
You start passing them.
Now Stefan says that we
Nice
need
balance,
to
Bruce
start
behind you
passing
got
them,
two,
and
but
I must say
gap
that
from Lindbergh to Bock,
as a
4.5
joke that I
seconds.
turned on my inner Verstappen
You
and
are
went
6
instantly
seconds
on the
behind
inside
Bock.
of Benz and also on Roy Schotten's inside, but he was coming back to the track and into the racing line. He didn't saw me attacking Benz,
David, was it too much or not?
but he said that
Bock
he
is
is
doing
sorry
1 second
after
faster.
the race. So yeah, nothing major. It's as I said, nothing major, and I'm up into 5th place. So next up is Bastian Peisler in front of me, who is fighting with Sandeep Choda for currently 3rd place. But onto the next lap, I managed to close gap to Bastian and into the corners between the straights, as I used to say it in this video. I managed to brake later than Bastian and overtake him fairly easy and up into 4th place. Next up is Sandeep Choda, who is catched up to Johan Lindbergh as well. And this time I decided to not attack anyone, go a bit calmly into that part of track, and onto the exit of the 2nd
Angelone
straight,
fighting for 12th.
I managed to have better exit than Johan. He is having slipstream from Sandeep, but it seems like he has a bit more wings than me. And into the fast right-hander, I managed to overtake Johan and up into 3rd place. Now next up is Sandeep, now for the lead, because there was Yannick Bock in front of us, as David
I
said.
nearly missed that.
He started on super soft
He will be in
and
traffic
went
now, I
onto
think.
more
Let me
aggressive
check.
strategy. And now I'm attacking Sandeep into
He
the
is coming
part
back.
of corners between the straights. And this
Lindbergh
overtake was
retires.
pretty easy. And from that point on, it
Bock is
was
back.
just
First.
cruising for me into the end of
Great.
the race, to be honest. As you can see, I managed to pull away by over 10 seconds. So from that point, it was just nursing the car and onto the finish line. And 1st place in the race too. That's something that I wasn't expecting. And as you can see, results of race 2, me 1st place, Sandeep 2nd, and Bastian 3rd. Stefan was down into 12 because he had
damn
some
it.
contact with Roy Schroten and he needed to pit. In the individual standings, I overtook Stefan by 17 points, and in constructors we are over 240 points over the 2nd place. And that's all for today. Thanks for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.